In the fall of 2015, an indie game called Undertale was released to PC and Mac. In the following months, the game would acquire near universal acclaim from audiences and critics alike. Now, over 8 years later, the game still impacts me through its music, innovative gameplay, and emotional impact. The legacy Undertale left in its wake still makes reverberations to this day. Breaking from the tropes of typical top-down RPGs, Undertale markets itself as the RPG game where you don't have to destroy anyone. This is the first of Undertale's many unique mechanics. The ability to pick between a violent or pacifist playthrough is an interesting concept and allows for flexibility in how the player chooses to play the game. Those with an attachment to characters may choose the pacifist route, while those who don't care strongly or players looking for more of a challenge may end up going down the more neutral path, perhaps even attempting the genocide route. The choices you make throughout the game are also impactful to it. While the game's ending is determined based on more simple and overarching decisions made by the player, the game still remembers small details. Kill a certain character in a certain area, and another character may make notice of it. Feel remorseful for being responsible for a particular character's death. Reload the game expecting to wipe the slate clean, and you may be surprised to find that the game still remembers, even though you never saved after that kill. The game doesn't really follow the principle of a choices matter in a more branching style, but it does keep track of certain particular details, which gives the game the feeling that it's more than just the sum of its parts. Another innovative aspect of the game is that of its bullet hell mechanics. While the combat typically takes place within the confines of a simple box, the game regularly attempts to expand on previously introduced systems while building on others, sometimes breaking the rules entirely when suitable. Overall, Undertale was a trailblazer in many regards with innovation in gameplay mechanics, particularly for 2D indie games. Undertale's cast of characters is a diverse ensemble, each contributing to the game's charm and emotional depth. At the heart of it all is Frisk, the silent protagonist whose journey players guide through the underground world. Despite the lack of spoken words, Frisk's actions and choices speak volumes, shaping the narrative in profound ways. I do feel that I cannot discuss Undertale without also acknowledging the iconic duo of Sans and Papyrus, the Skeleton Brothers. Sans with his laid-back demeanor and tendency for puns, and Papyrus, the ambitious and optimistic brother with a good heart. They've both become fan favorites, each leaving a lasting effect on the player's experience. The details of them using Comic Sans and Papyrus for their font respectively is also a fun little detail in dialogue. Noteworthy as well are Undertale's villains. Whether it's the enigmatic Flowey, the eccentric Mettaton, or the intimidating Asgore, each antagonist is more than what they may seem at first glance. Undertale challenges preconceived notions of good and evil, presenting characters with more nuanced motivations that may better resonate with players. Each villain has their own motivation, and no one character exists simply to be an obstacle or a challenge to overcome. There are many more characters with interesting and fun personalities, and even minor characters in the story that have their moments to help them stand out. Each character has their own nuance, mannerisms, and personality that ultimately do feel fleshed out. Undertale weaves an emotionally charged narrative that captivates players from start to finish. The game's premise revolves around a human child named Frisk who falls into the underground, a world populated by monsters banished from the surface. The emotional heart of Undertale is revealed through its intricate storytelling and thought-provoking choices. The decisions made by players influence not only the narrative progression, but also the way in which characters perceive and interact with the player character. Such is the case with Toriel, the tutorial guide and first friendly character you meet in the game. After guiding Frisk through the early stages of the game, Toriel attempts to prevent Frisk from leaving the safety of the ruins, the initial area of the game. In this critical moment, players are presented with a choice whether to spare or attack Toriel. Traditionally, RPGs often frame combat as the primary means to an end, that being progression beyond the combat encounter. Attacking and defeating enemies is seen as a standard part of gameplay, and often not even given a second thought. However, Undertale challenges this convention by offering players the option to resolve conflicts peacefully. Choosing to spare Toriel results in a powerful and emotional exchange. Toriel expresses relief and understanding, emphasizing the game's overarching theme of mercy and compassion. On the other hand, opting to attack Toriel leads to a heartbreaking outcome, showcasing the consequences of resorting to violence. Interactions like this stick with the player and make them seriously think about the direction they may want to proceed when it comes to killing other creatures. The reshaping of this norm from that of typical games means that most players will likely be operating off inertia from similar games, instinctively picking options and performing actions which the game challenges, and possibly creating a sense of shock as an outcome. The emotional resonance of Undertale is particularly evident in the moral dilemmas presented throughout the game. Whether deciding the fate of a character or facing the consequences of their actions, the players are confronted with weighty decisions that evoke empathy and introspection. The game cleverly subverts expectations, keeping players on an emotional roller coaster with its unexpected twists and turns. Undertale's ability to invoke a wide range of emotions from joy to laughter and sorrow and contemplation stems from its masterclass storytelling by Toby Fox. The emotional richness of Undertale is a testament to the game's narrative depth as a whole, making it a memorable journey that transcends the boundaries of traditional video game storytelling. Undertale's distinctive charm extends beyond the compelling narrative and its characters. Its unique pixel art style and awe-inspiring music play pivotal roles in crafting the game's unforgettable atmosphere. Undertale embraces a pixel art style that pays homage to classic RPGs like Earthbound, evoking a sense of nostalgia while presenting a visually distinct experience for those new to the style. The simplicity of the pixelated characters and environments assist in enhancing the emotional depth of the narrative, making the game visually appealing and helping it stay timeless. While on an initial impression one may be put off by its simple style, playing through the game helps build a familiarity with it, and the diversity in different stages proves the beauty the game is capable of. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know how impactful music is to me. The tracks you listen to while playing the game can be the linchpin for immersion, mood, and overall enjoyment. With that being said, it probably stands as no surprise that I consider one of Undertale's crowning achievements to be that of its outstanding soundtrack, also composed by Toby Fox. Almost anyone with a presence on the internet can probably identify songs like Megalovania, many other songs like Falling Down, and Hopes and Dreams, are also well-known and praised songs. I personally enjoy many of the environment songs, as they make for good background music both in-game and during my everyday life. Plenty of the battle songs are also very enjoyable, taking more from Toby Fox's Earthbound inspiration and being distinct for each circumstance or encounter. Speaking of the environmental songs, environments themselves are artfully crafted. Falling down into a bed of flowers, the player is initially dropped into the dark and mystical ruin area. The earlier parts of the ruins are filled with puzzles and function as a warm-up to the game's mechanics. The later part of the ruins includes Toriel's home. Soft lighting and welcoming atmosphere help build a sense of serenity in this part. Venturing further, the player will encounter the snowy lands of Snowdin, a quaint village inhabited by monster characters. The serene backdrop and charming sprites encapsulates the sense of wonderment, while the vibrant personalities of its inhabitants add a touch of humor and warmth to the otherwise cold environment. The third area, Waterfall, features cascading waterfalls, bioluminescent fauna, and many unique encounters with strange and mysterious creatures. As the player progresses, they reach the industrial and technology-advanced Hotland. This area is a stark contrast to the previous environments, with pulsating machinery, neon lights, and an overall sense of urgency. The visual shift reflects the evolving tone of the narrative and adds variety to the overall experience. Moving further still, the player reaches the core, and this personally is my favorite area of the game. This visually striking section features futuristic architecture and is quite literally the beating heart of both the underground and the game as a whole. Another fun detail about the core is both the overall design and the fact that the environment's music continues even through combat draws many similarities to the Ocean Palace segment of Chrono Trigger, another game which inspired Undertale. I personally love that the environment song continues even when a fight breaks out. It adds to the momentum of this section and creates a sense of marching forward. The core also denotes a change in enemy design, as the more fantasy-esque design of enemies in earlier parts now appear more rugged and serious than their appearance in the ruins. Each environment in Undertale contributes not only to the aesthetics of the game, but also to the emotional journey that the player experiences while adventuring through the game world. The carefully crafted settings enhance the narrative's highs and lows, creates a cohesive, immersive world that lingers in the player's memory long after the game concludes. Undertale's diverse and enchanting environments showcase the game's commitment to world building, and offers players a more rich and memorable experience that goes beyond mere visuals or action set pieces. Undertale stands as a testament to the power of indie gaming. Toby Fox crafted a tale that transcends the boundaries of any traditional RPG. From its groundbreaking gameplay mechanics to the unforgettable cast of characters and enchanting environments, Undertale left an indelible mark on the hearts of players worldwide. It's important to remember that Undertale's impact goes further than its critical acclaim. It sparked a vibrant community of fans, creators, and it's inspired countless more. The game's legacy is not just in its awards or sales figures, but in the personal connection many players have had and formed with its characters and the lasting memories created through their journey in the underground.